We need gel wax for the crystal columns, and paraffin wax with a melting point of 58 degrees Celsius for the base. Before getting into the tutorial, let's clarify some important notes of gel wax. If you're familiar with gel wax, you may directly jump to the tutorial. Gel wax, soft and elastic like jelly, is classified into 3 types based on its melting point and density, which is LP, low density gel wax, MP, medium density gel wax, and HP, high density gel wax. The harder the wax, the higher the density and melting point. Generally speaking, LP gel wax is used to make container candles. HP gel wax is elastic while remaining solid, allowing it to be used to make object candles. Please note that gel wax can be demolded from acrylic molds. For this tutorial, you can use either LP gel wax or HP gel wax. If you use LP gel wax for this craft, the effect will be more clear and crystal-like. However, please don't add more than 5% candle oil for LP gel wax, otherwise the wax oil will leak, causing the crystal columns to become soft and collapse. If you use HP gel wax, the effect will be less clear. However, the texture will be hard and stand steadily, and you can add more candle oils for HP gel wax, normally between 8% and 10%. For a specific dosage, please consult your wax supplier. Let's get into the making process now. I'm using LP gel wax, and of course you may use HP gel wax. Any raw broken pieces of gel wax are very close to the effect of crystals. Tear the raw gel wax into pieces by hand. Trim it into strips of different sizes and cut away the edges so that the sides can come out more cut surfaces. Then cut the top sides to make a pointed shape. Crystal clusters naturally contain crystal pillars of various sizes and are not flawless in and of themselves, so you don't need to cut the crystal columns precisely and perfectly. As long as the gel wax is cut roughly into the shape of crystal columns, its crystalline nature can produce a crystal cluster effect when stacked together. The real crystal cluster also has some irregular broken pieces, so we can keep some of the shattered gel wax we just trimmed off. Overlapping white and a particular color of crystal pillars will provide a gradient effect. Let's make the other color. Melt some gel wax over medium heat. Please note that you can't use a bamboo stick to dye the gel wax. Only use stainless steel skewer such as a barbecue skewer, otherwise the wax will produce a lot of bubbles. For gel wax dyeing, what you see is what you get. You don't need to drop the wax on a piece of white paper to confirm the color. I want to maintain the translucency and its permanence as a decorative item, so I'm not gonna add candle oil here. If you need to sand a gel wax, please use colorless and transparent candle oil. Otherwise, it will be stained by the fragrant oil color. The color I'm demonstrating here is amber, just adding a little bit of brown dye. Pour the gel wax into any silicone mold at between 100 degrees Celsius and 130 degrees Celsius. Alternatively, you don't need to pour the wax, just let it solidify in the melting pot. While waiting for solidification, let's make a base for a crystal cluster. Cut a piece of tin foil. Press a hole with your fist. Turn out and press the excessive tin foil. To make the overall effect more natural, the shape doesn't need to be flat and regular. The size of the hole is the size of the base. Horizontal upward or side forward base can work. Just make sure the surface where the crystal pillars are placed is relatively large so that the pillars can stand. The wax material used here is paraffin wax with a melting point of 58 degrees Celsius. There's no need to add any paraffin additives. When buying paraffin wax for candle making, please make sure to choose fully refined paraffin wax for craft use. Melt the wax over medium heat. Be careful not to overheat the wax. If there's 1/3 of the melted wax left in the pot, turn off the hot plate and remove the melting pot. Add 8% candle flame oil to the wax liquid between 55 degrees Celsius and 60 degrees Celsius. Then stir the wax liquid with a stainless steel spoon to allow the flame oil blend well with the wax liquid while cooling it down quickly. If you want to add a higher percentage of flame oil, please consult a paraffin wax supplier. We need to stir the wax liquid into pasty state. You must grate the solidified wax off the walls of the pot to accelerate the cooling process. The stirring time is subject to room temperature, roughly around 3 to 5 minutes. Alternatively, you may stir for 20 seconds after adding the flame oil, then just set it aside a few minutes to let the wax liquid cool down. However, please keep an eye on the wax condition to prevent it being over-solidified. When the wax liquid turns to a pasty state, dip or touch your candle liquid dye with a barbecue skewer or a bamboo stick. Lightly dab it into the wax paste and slightly smudge the color. Don't stir the color, just push it gently to create a natural shading effect. Use a long spoon to scoop out the wax paste and press it into the hole until it's completely covered with the wax paste, the thickness of which is about 1 centimeter. Moreover, make sure the entire base is well pressed to prevent hollows and air bubbles from the inside. Set the finished base aside to solidify completely. Demold the dyed gel wax. Tear it into strips thoroughly by hand, then trim the wax into shapes of crystal pillars and keep the shattered pieces, just like what we did for the white crystal pillars. As we mentioned before, what you see is what you get when dyeing the gel wax. However, when we tear the wax apart, we find that the color inside is getting lighter and lighter. So you may adjust the color a little bit darker than you want when coloring the gel wax. Now all the materials needed for a crystal cluster are done, which are crystal pillars, broken crystal pieces, and a base. Let's put them together. When the base has been completely solidified, carefully tear off the tin foil. Round out the edges with a craft knife. Be careful, don't cut yourself. Prepare a tea light candle or just any candle. The side flame from the tea light candle will melt the crystal pillars' bottoms. Adhere the crystal pillars to the base as soon as possible when the melting wax drops appear. Please note that we must use the side flames instead of the top flames, otherwise the gel wax will produce black smoke and make the crystal columns dirty with toner. While there are only a few, the crystal pillars will bend and collapse, so please hold them with your hands first and let them go until a number of crystal pillars can support each other. Crystal clusters are shaped in different ways. If you want to make some special structures, you may refer to the real crystal clusters. After spreading the crystal pillars at the base, fill the gaps and the outer circle with the shattered pieces. This not only improved the overall aesthetic, but also strengthened the crystal pillars once again. Use the paraffin wax to make a natural ring of crushed crystal around the edge. The texture of the wax used to make the crushed crystals is rougher and drier than that used to make the base. After the wax turns into a pasty state, continue to stir it until it turns to a snowflake-like particle condition. Then spoon it around the edges to form a natural cluster effect of broken crystals. The design can be mainly based on crystal pillars or shattered crystals. You may place them according to your preference. Now with the candles, prepare pre-tap and pre-wax candle wick. Candles are irregularly shaped. For a complete burn, 2 to 3 wicks are required. For a more appealing look, just install 1 wick. The burning range of the wick is subject to the data provided by our wick suppliers. Use a hot air gun to heat up a barbecue skewer. Penetrate the base with the skewer and then wick the candle. Trim the extra wick. You may try different color combos according to your preference.